SoCal Filipinos celebrates Filipino Food Month. Today, we feature Spencer Hunter of Leah's Lumpias. Please welcome your host, Sweeney Mae.
Yes. Thank you. I love that music. I love that intro, and I think I know that voice. Welcome everyone to Filipino Food Month right here at SoCal Filipinos. So wherever you are tuning in, if you're tuning in on Twitch, you're tuning on YouTube, or tuning in on Facebook, welcome. I'm your host, Sweeney Mae, and I'm so excited because today we are going to talk everything about lumpia. Who loves lumpia, by the way? Let me see on the comments below. Raise your hand if you love some lumpia. So, today is a very special day, not only because we're going to be talking about lumpia and we're going to be talking about food, but we are going to have a special guest here today. And he is the owner and creator of Leah's Lumpia, who was also featured on the Food Network's Great Food Truck Race Season 11. Yes, everyone, please welcome Spencer. Let's go. Hi, Spencer.
Hey, what's up?
What's up, Chef? We call you Chef Spencer, Chef Spence. What do we call you?
I think it's a little. I'm hearing a delay on the audio. It sounds like you're in slow-mo.
Uh-oh. Are we better now? Can my
It sounds like slow-mo. Like it literally sounds like you're slowed down. I can't. Let me see here.
Uh-oh. If anyone else is having the same issue, let me know. Let's see. I think echo cancellations. I think I'm good. Is it getting better though, or is it the same? Sounds good on Jason's end, he said. So, yes.
It's still kind of. Let's see here.
Filipino. I'm gonna keep talking so you can tell me if it gets better.
It's like maybe if you mute your mic and then unmute it.
Let's try that.
Okay.
Hello? Anyone? Hello?
I mean, I can hear you, but it's just like delayed and slow.
Oh, okay. So my sister's online. Hello, my sister Gretchen. Okay. It might be on your end only. Special on your end that it's slow. But welcome, Chef Spencer. I'm going to call you that. Actually, one of my nephews, his name is Spencer also, so I love that. So before we get started, I asked Jason if I could tell a lumpia joke, but it's not my joke. I Googled it, but I really love it, so I'm going to share it. So let me see if anyone can participate in this joke. This is the joke. How do you beat a lumpia? Anybody? How do you beat a lumpia? Chef Spencer, do you know? How do you beat a lumpia?
Sorry, let's see here. It's really delayed on my end. I can barely hear the audio. Let me see. Maybe if I take this off.
Let's see if it's your pods. Is it better?
Okay. No, that's weird. It's like slow motion. It's like you're talking really slow like this. Maybe should I sign off and sign back on or something?
Yeah, Jason, what do you think? Jason's in the back end. Everyone knows Jason. Yeah, go ahead. Sign off, and sign back on.
Yeah, let me try that because this is.
Well, why I'm on the spotlight by myself. If you guys are tuning in and you so happen to just tune in, yes, if you just so happen to tune in right now, we are focusing on Filipino food because April is Filipino Food Month. And over at SoCal Filipinos Facebook, we are celebrating it with a series of interviews with different chefs. And today is Chef Spencer. So speaking of food, what are your favorite Filipino food? Let me see in the comments. I'm also signed in right here. Someone's already answered my joke. But in the meantime, okay, let me answer my joke for you guys that don't know the joke. And it's not my joke, it's Google's joke. How do you beat a lumpia? And the answer is you pansit. Brunch.
There we go.
Okay, we're back. Just in time. I
I
just
heard
I
the
just told
I
them my
heard the
joke.
fun shit. I heard it. All right.
Oh, you got some fans over here. I'm glad. Okay, now that you're back, welcome. And so
Yeah.
let's get started at the very beginning. Tell us, where did you grow up, and tell us about your upbringing. Did you always wanted to be a chef?
Okay, so I grew up in San Diego, here in SoCal. Born and raised here out of Paradise Hills, Bonita area, so southern San Diego, South Bay is what we call it. I grew up with half black, half Filipino. So most of my time I was at my Filipino grandma's house. I was at my black side of my family's house too when I was young. But my upbringing was mostly with my grandma, my Filipino grandma, because both my parents worked. So I was highly influenced by Filipino food. Every day coming home from school, having lumpia or pancit, chicken adobo, kare kare, sinigang, it goes on and on and on. But I loved the food, and I never really wanted to become a chef. I had an interest in food since I was little, but my Filipino grandma was persuading me to become an architect. So I always had, I always liked math and arts and stuff. So I went to college for sustainable architecture at first, and then from there I kind of moved around and got into cooking and food management.
Okay, first of all, you are half Filipino, half black, but that Filipino
hmm
food culture was stronger in the household.
Yeah, so like I said, my mom, my grandma, my mom,
Yeah.
and my dad worked full time. So I was at my Filipino grandma's house because she lived closer to us. She lived here in Bonita also. So I was always there, and she, of course, Lola's gonna be cooking every day and feeding you and all your friends every day.
Right. And second of all, your Lola, your grandma, wanted you to be an architect. Different from what everyone else might be asking to do is being a nurse. So big
Yeah,
ups to that.
true,
So did
true.
you finish being an architect at all?
I ended up so I moved from sustainable architecture to sustainable tourism development and
Mm-hmm.
management. So like hotel management, restaurants, airfare, and cruises and all that. But within that, I studied abroad a lot, and I focused on sustainable food management. So that's
Yeah.
where the food kind of came into it. So more of the system side, where the food's being sourced from, what resources are being used, cultural stuff like that. And then from there, I focused in on my own culture first, and I started with Filipino food.
Of course. Where did you study abroad?
hmm So I studied abroad. My first study abroad was in Guatemala, and
Uh-huh.
then I went to Australia, and then I went to Panama for my senior internship in study abroad, and then I got hired by that company in Panama and went back out there my first couple semesters out of college and worked down there. And it was in the middle of the rainforest, off grid, no electricity, no running water, straight back to the basics, living on a farm in the middle of the rainforest.
Wait, so what kind of job was that in Panama with no running water that you had
So,
to deal with?
so it was. So I initially was there as an intern for sustainable farm to table culinary arts. So
Mm.
learning there, we had a permaculture farm on site, so all organic. So every day we picked our produce, we harvested it, and then we cooked whatever dishes we could. The big thing about the program that I was in as an intern, they hired me to come back as the director to lead the program. But we tried to take local ingredients and show kids how to cook it different cuisines from around the world with the local stuff that we have right there on the farm.
I love that. I love that because it's different. I love talking to people that have like all kinds of like different backgrounds and the way you got to where you are now, and that's totally different. I've actually never met anyone that did that. So exciting,
Yeah,
exciting.
I definitely have done a lot in the industry from when I was in college. I worked on a golf course in the morning, went to my classes, then worked at a hotel after. And then I did catering on the side, an auction company on the side. And two auction companies actually. So I always was in the industry in special events and catering and food,
Mhm.
but then studying it at the same time kind of helped because I got the experience and I got the knowledge in school at the exact same time.
Awesome. So, with that as your background and then all of that experience in your career, what led you to your food truck?
So when I was in Panama, we always started with the local food. We had international students from around the world come. It was like a private institute in the middle of the rainforest. So the first week or two, we'd always introduce local Panamanian food to our students. And it was hard after like a chicken soup and some fried chicken and like fried fish and stuff like that, and beans and rice. There really wasn't like a staple dish of Panamanian. I know like patacones, like tostones, the fried banana chips. That's a really big
Tostones,
staple down
yes.
there.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, yeah. So that's why I first learned all about that. And I was like, if you ask anybody around the world, like, what's your favorite Panamanian dish? People would be like, what's Panamanian food? You know, like what are they known for? And it kind of is getting back to their history where the Panama Canal, a lot of different countries came in for the trade through the Panama Canal, that a lot of the cultures and all of the local cuisine is from all around the world. It's not really the traditional Panamanian food. So thinking about that, I was like, you know, I would never want my own heritage and my own culture to be lost in translation, and Filipino food just to be thought as like point joints, cafeteria line, pancit, adobo, and lumpia, and that's it. You know, that's what people only know us as. There's
Yeah.
so much more than that, you know? So when I came back, I started my catering company, which Hunter's Home Kitchen, which we did festivals and private events. And festivals, we had a full menu: chicken adobo, fried rice, pancit, lumpia at Crossfest in San Diego, 30,000 people. And of the 30,000 people just loved the lumpia. Over and over, we sold out of the lumpia. So that's when I was like, you know what? We might be representing the whole cuisine, but we're going to focus in on one dish, but we're going to make it way more different what anybody's ever seen. So
Nice.
putting in all the different flavors inside of the lumpia wrap, we kind of started seeing it more than just a lumpia dish, but seeing it as lumpia as a wrapper, as a as a carrier of a dish, you know, so like a taco or burrito. It's
Mhm.
actually, you can put anything inside of it, but it's just the vessel that you get to eat it in. So people really digged it. Our first one that we tried out was the mac and cheese lumpia because I'm half black, so our soul food, we
Wow.
combined Filipino and black. So
My mouth is
we took
watering.
some southern mac and cheese, put it in there, and people always ask like, "Do you have a vegetarian one? Do you have a vegetarian one?" And we were like, we could do all vegetable lumpia, but we wanted something else to be more, you know, more different and stand out. And back when we started this back in like 2016, fried mac and cheese was like a hot thing back then.
Uh-huh.
So we were like, why not? Let's try it out. So we did that, and from there we just moved on with all the different flavors, and now we have over 75 flavors.
I love it. Well, let me go back real quick to when you said point joint. I kind of like that, Jason.
Yeah,
Hashtag
yeah,
point joint. Because I always like, okay, what's English for turo, right? Like point
yeah,
joint. I kind of
exactly.
like that.
Yeah, yeah. You
I
point to
kind
what
of
you want. Let me get some of
yeah.
that, some of that, and some of that.
You know what's crazy is that I was in a conversation one time with a few other people, and it's like Filipino food is so good. Well, obviously, we might be biased, but I think it's really good.
Yeah.
And I think it's one of
Everybody that I introduce it to love it.
yeah, and I think it's one of the Asian food that hasn't really made it to mainstream as much as Korean has and Chinese has. Why do you think that is?
Hmm.
Like, what's your opinion on that?
I think I think every cuisine has its time, you know, its
Yeah.
time to shine. So, like with sushi, with Japanese food, sushi was so popular, like when I was younger, like it was a luxury to get sushi. Now you can get sushi at a gas station in the middle of the Midwest, you know, it's almost anywhere. So I think every cuisine has its time to shine. I think just the mix of our culture with like Spanish and with the local Filipinos and then some Asian Chinese culture influence, the Southeast Asia influence. I think that people are starting to be more relatable to it. So like
Hmm.
with us, we say lumpia is the cousin of the egg roll, amigo of the roll taco, because people don't know what lumpia is, but they know what roll taco is, or they know what egg roll is. So I think just relatability, people are starting to, try it out. And then I think also more and more people seem to be mixed ethnicities,
Yeah.
So there's more and more people trying different cultures and different cuisines because they're, naturally born into it. That's what I tell people is like the mac and cheese lumpia is like me on a plate. It's half black, half Filipino. It's street food taken on a modern way, and it's delicious.
Yeah, I love it. So you talked about how your background in like all the other all the places you've studied abroad and the background on what you did in Panama, and then you went into the food industry serving all kinds of Filipino food, and then it came down to lumpia because everyone seems
Yeah,
to love lumpia. What is it you think
yeah.
that people, especially non-Filipinos, love about lumpia so much?
I think so. We specialize in festivals, so AKA everybody's drinking and everybody's drunk. So lumpia is a perfect bar food. It's portable, it's hand portable. You don't need any utensils. You eat it with your hands. It's fried. So who doesn't like something fried? A little indulgence, and then it pairs perfect with alcohol and beer and stuff. So for us, we found our niche to be festivals and breweries. We partner with breweries, of course, over the pandemic, breweries needed food. So we definitely found our niche there. But people love it because it's fried, it's fast, it's finger food, and it tastes good with beer.
Yeah, and someone just commented they love the mac and cheese lumpia. Yes, someone said hello from San Diego, and someone said hello from
Hey, what's up?
yes. Okay, let's see. So now fast forward. Well, now, I don't know if it were fast forwarding, but you were a part of the Food Network's was it Great Food Truck Race Season 11? What
Yeah, the
how
holiday
is that?
edition.
And I think maybe in a lot of the interviews you've done, you've talked about what that was like, but how has that experience change your business?
So, starting with just having a food truck, we didn't have a food truck before the show. So, the show was kind of like our crash course on Food Truck 101, We had to learn everything from maintaining it to cleaning it, driving it, of course, and then prepping out of it and cooking out of it. If
Wait,
they
hold
didn't
it.
show a lot of the
You weren't required to have a food truck to be on the show?
No, they took all amateurs. So
And then
nobody on the show ever had a food truck. Yeah, so they usually everybody had some type of catering business or private chefing or were in the industry cooking, but nobody had a food truck. So they
got it.
really made it like an amateur style. Um, I've luckily worked on a food truck before with a catering company, but I've never, done the ins and out of it. So it was a really cool crash course on Food Truck 101. And then being in the cold out there, it was some days it was like -7 degrees, wind chill was crazy, super cold winds. So if people were coming out and getting our food out there, and we were cooking in sub 0 degree weather, like our sweet chili sauce would freeze outside of the refrigerator than inside the refrigerator. So it's actually hotter inside the refrigerator. So like we'd have to put a lot of sauces inside the refrigerator just to keep it somewhat loose. But yeah, if we could do it in the middle of the in the snow, we could definitely do it down here in Southern California.
Wow. So who was on the show with you?
So I had this is us right here. So I had my mom,
Uh-huh.
me, and my best friend Tanya. My mom was my sous chef, and then Tanya was our driver for the food truck and our server in the front.
Awesome, awesome. And tell our viewers about what who the food truck is named after.
Okay, yeah. So originally our truck was called Lola's Lumpia after my grandma. Lola means grandma. But when we went on the show, it was on the East Coast, so there was a little copyright going on with in New York with someone having Lola's Lumpia already. So we decided to go with Leah's Lumpia, named after my mom. She is a Lola now too. My brother had 2 kids, so technically it's still the Lola's Lumpia, but it's after her name, Benelia, so it's Leah's Lumpia.
Leah's Lumpias. How does your mom feel about all of this? Like, I'm sure she's super proud of you. How does she feel about being on the show? How does she feel about helping you out? What is that chemistry like?
So I've been working with my mom a lot since I was young. She was an event planner my whole life and did special events all the time. So I was always like the little kid running around the special event, helping out here and there. So subconsciously, it's always been in the back of my head, events and catering and festivals and stuff like that. But when I went to college, I really honed in on it, getting a job because I said, "Oh, I used to work with my mom," so it helped me get to where I am now with my mom. But I think she's super proud, obviously already. But the funny thing is, she always tells people she labored for me once before, and now she's continuing to labor for me because she works for me every week. But she loved the experience. There would be no other time that we'd really pay to go to New England in the middle of the winter, like snow. Like not many people go out there. So it was a free vacation for her. So she's like, I would have never guessed I would get to see New England in my lifetime during the peak season of like holiday and snow. So it was really cool to be out there with my mom because offset, we got to, we're foodies anyway. So like we went every city we went to, we went and ate, tried the local stuff. And it was like a little mini vacation while you were working.
Wow. So just for all of you, all the viewers that are tuning in right now, we are speaking with Chef Spencer, who is the owner of Leah's Lumpia and was also featured on the great, I keep forgetting the exact words in that, like Great Food Truck Race. It's a long title.
Yeah.
Great Food Truck Race.
Technically, it's the Great Food Truck Race Holiday Hustle.
Goodness gracious, only he can say that.
Yeah.
And if you guys have any questions, please ask it on the chat wherever you are tuning in, whether on Facebook, on YouTube, or on Twitch, because we have our mastermind working behind the scenes, making sure that we see those questions. So if you have any questions for Chef Spencer, please ask away, type it in the chat. Yes. Okay. So let's ask, I want to ask you, how did you come about being a part of that show? Was there an audition? Like, were you contacted? How did you become a part of the show?
So I was contacted from a chef friend who was trying out for Guys Grocery Games, and he actually recommended me to the director and producers to contact me for that show. So I did the Guys Grocery Games application, and they also referred me to the Chopped application, and then they had the Great Food Truck Race also, and Hell's Kitchen. So it was like all my favorite food shows. So we applied to all of them. Got accepted to all of them too. The first one being filmed was the Great Food Truck Race. So it was the soonest. They wanted to get the holiday edition in during the winter time. So we were there February and March, so right after the holidays. But out there, they keep the holidays rolling because it's so cold and everything's white. So all the Christmas stuff is still up. So they told us that they really needed another team for this certain season. It was coming up within, I think it was 3 to 4 weeks before we had to leave. So it was really last second. They said, if you could jump on this one, we can guarantee like we can get you on this one because your whole team will be on it. But for the other ones, we have way more teams competing for it. So your chances of getting on that one is a little bit less. So I was like, we're fine. We could take off the time right now. We didn't have the truck back then. We were just doing catering. So I was like, we could take some time off, a couple months, and go out there and try it out. And of course, we did Zoom interviews. We did a few rounds of Zoom interviews where it was just me by myself, and then it was me with my mom and my best friend Tanya. So it was like they want to see the dynamics between our team. They want to see how we acted around each other, what our personalities were, and they liked it. So they had us go out.
Awesome. And did you have to cancel anything you had going on here to fly over there?
We had, at that time, we were just doing weekly pop-ups at breweries, which we still do now, mixing with some festivals now. But it was kind of in the slower time of the season for us, so we luckily could afford to leave for a little bit. I think it was 5 weeks. So it was pretty hard, like, to find people that could be gone for 5 weeks. So like my brother initially was supposed to come with us, but he just had a baby. And I don't think he could take 5 weeks off of his job. So things like that factored. But it really was a good experience to go out there, and it was good timing for us.
Wow. And was it, while you guys were filming the show, was it pretty much like aired right away, or did you film the entire thing before it was aired?
we filmed the entire thing before it was aired. So we had
Ah,
to wait. We filmed in the beginning of 2019, and it premiered at the end of 2019 in Christmas time.
ah. And then while it was on air, what kind of responses were you getting from Filipinos or your friends? How did it feel to represent Filipino food on TV?
It was a mixed response. A lot of like traditionalist Filipinos were like, "Oh my God, mac and cheese inside of a lumpia? Never! My grandma would
What are you
never do that."
doing? What are you doing with the?
Yeah, all the lolas and the aunties are like, "What is that?" But the more modern day foodies, the younger generation, the people that are more food enthusiasts and more adventurous, they really loved it. People from all around the world were hitting us up. People from the Philippines, of course. People from Europe. People from different states here in the United States were hitting us up. People from Alaska, Hawaii, and they're proud. Everybody, of course, was saying they're surprised to see us on the show, to see Filipino food represented and lumpia being represented. They loved it. They also almost every single person says you should have won. We all thought you were gonna win the whole thing. That should have been you guys. You guys got robbed. And even still to this day, that was 3 years ago. Just like 2 weeks ago at one of the pop-ups that we did in town, someone came up and was like, "Oh, we saw you on the TV show, and you're our favorite team, and you should have won." So it
Yeah.
definitely made an impact on people.
Yes. We love your adobo lumpia. Any chance for sinigang? How do you do a Well, any chance for sinigang lumpia?
Actually, yeah, we're gonna try it out. We've been playing around with a lot of soup-based dishes, so how to get the flavors into the lumpia, obviously without the liquid. But we've done like a pork belly ramen dish where we took a whole pork belly ramen and actually got the flavors into the lumpia, and it actually is one of our most popular lumpia flavors.
So, speaking of your flavors of lumpia, how many different kinds of lumpia do you currently have on your menu?
So right now on the menu, we have about 7 flavors on the menu, but our total master menu is about 75 plus flavors. So we never freeze our lumpia. It's all hand rolled to order. Right when you order it, we're rolling it
And I
fresh.
think we have some
Um,
pictures of
so
some. We have some pictures of some of your lumpia, so we're gonna pull it up and talk
there
about
we
this
go.
lumpia right here.
Yeah, so the pork belly ramen one is the one that I was just talking about. It's one of our most popular people. So we actually came up with it for Mike Chen, Strictly Dumplings, the foodie blogger. He came down to help judge a Chinese Museum of History Maruchan ramen competition. So Maruchan sponsored a whole ramen competition and what you could do with their noodles. And people tried, of course, regular ramen, did like pho with it. Someone did also buco with it, so an Italian. And with us, we of course tried the lumpia. So that was the first time rolling the noodles in it with the pork belly, baby bok choy, and all that. And we actually made one that was 3 times our regular. So we used the whole wrapper size.
Mhm.
We did one that was 3 times as long, so it was like over a foot, and it was super thick. And he ate the whole
It was
thing
like a
and loved it.
burrito,
So
a
yeah,
burrito
it was
flip.
bigger than a burrito. It was like 2 chimichangas put together.
Oh shoot!
It was like my arm. Yeah, it was
Wow.
like 20 inches. But yeah, so that one is super popular. We did it with Food Beast. We have a viral video with Food Beast when we did the Nude Beach and Huntington Beach Festival. And that was one of the, we sold out at that festival. And LA Times wrote us up as one of the top 5 ramen creations for the festival. So that was really cool to be acknowledged for that. Our newest one this week. So on the menu, on the truck, we do a Lumpia of the Week. So we have our traditional menu, which has our Lola's lumpia, our chicken adobo lumpia, mac and cheese lumpia,
Mm.
turon. We have a fried pickle lumpia on there for the vegans, and then we do a lumpia of the week. So our lumpia of the week this past week was our musubi lumpia, and so we took a spam musubi concept and put it all inside of the lumpia. So you have seared spam in there, seaweed, jasmine rice, musubi sauce, wrapped up fresh and fried, and then we serve it with the musubi sauce. And we sold out over the weekend because people loved it.
Man, I want to try all of that. I have to figure out how I'm going to try this. I think we're going to talk
Yeah.
about later about some of the dates that you're going to be up closer to LA. So we're going to talk about that. But I was just going to say, when I go to party and I see those little lumpias, like I usually skip it, because I'm like, eh. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. And it's
they're
like,
like as big as you, and I have a big pinky too, so.
and I just feel like it's just like deep fried thing, and it will like mess with my stomach later.
It's
But
all
now,
wrapper too.
yeah, yes, I feel like it's all wrapper, like with a
Exactly.
like a little bit of meat in there. But these
You
type
see,
of
like just a
lumpia,
little.
like these type
Yeah,
of
you
lumpia,
can just tell. Yeah.
yeah,
So ours, we use the full wrapper. We try to get as much as we can in there. So like our biggest ones are our mac and cheese, our carne asada fries, and our chicken adobo because we do put the rice with the chicken adobo in there. The carne asada fries has fries obviously in there, and then the mac and cheese is just so big because all the noodles. So those ones are some of our fan favorites. People love the size. It's 8 pieces in an order, so it's very substantial, and people it could feed 2 people for dinner.
yeah. Talk about these calamansi pepper wings and other
Oh,
things
so
on the
that's
menu.
yeah, that's definitely one of my favorite non-lumpia items on the menu. So I probably order it every time on shift. It's a guilty pleasure, but it's like a lemon pepper wing. We do calamansi juice, pepper, salt, a little bit of garlic, and then on top of it, so that's tossed after it's fried, and then on top of it comes black pepper calamansi mayo. So it's kind of like some people think it's a ranch, but it has that calamansi punch in there. And
Mm.
then we put crispy garlic and green onions on top. So it's a whole dish on itself, and that with the side of rice is like one of my favorite things off the menu. We have 3 different types of wings. We have the calamansi pepper. We have chicken adobo wings that come with spicy mayo on top, and then we have a spicy sweet chili wing that is made with Mad Dog 357 hot sauce. So it's a super duper hot sauce that we use just one little cap of it in a whole bottle of sweet chili, and you definitely feel the heat on it.
My goodness. Shout out to Rob. I just saw your comment, Rob. Um, so tell me, I want to know more about the things that we don't see, right? Like what are some lumpia you like ingredients you've tried that just didn't work out?
Hmm. Oh, so I tried to do a s'mores lumpia with
S'mores lumpia.
marshmallows.
Wow.
Yeah, so we did first. We started with marshmallow fluff because you can spread it. So we're like,
Yeah.
okay, let's put some marshmallow fluff, Hershey's chocolate bars, graham crackers in there. Rolled it up, fried it. Instant. Well, it looked good. Looked pretty good from the outside. I could see the chocolate melting and everything. I was like, oh, it looks good. We cut it open. There's nothing in the inside. All of the marshmallow just disintegrated. So,
What?
yeah, so that one definitely didn't work out too well. We started using big marshmallows instead of the fluff to see maybe that will melt differently. And then we tried it on a lower temperature, and that worked. But then we only have one fryer, so to be changing the temperatures for certain orders would not make sense business wise. But we did fix it with double wrapping. I tried double wrapping it, and
Uh-huh.
it did help out some. But with that one, it really is you have to watch it while it fries, and right when it gets crispy enough, just when the wrapper cooks enough, you got to take it out quick because that marshmallow is like a Houdini act. We were all
Oh
so
my god.
excited too, like watching around it, and then we cut it, and there's nothing in the inside at all.
The chocolate was still there?
The chocolate was in there, but it was just all hollow. There's a little bit of melted chocolate on the bottom of the wrapper, but everything was hollow. So we tried it out, and I think we might bring that one back in the summertime if I could get it right again. But
Wow.
yeah, definitely there's been some failures.
Yeah, so I saw a comment earlier that asked, can you mail some in the Bay Area? Have you had requests from people like mailing
Oh,
them?
of course.
Do
Yeah,
you
of
or do you
course.
plan to?
Everybody, people. We plan to over the pandemic when it first started lockdown and there was no outdoor eating or anything just to go, and we didn't have the food truck yet open. So we tried to do refrigerated prepackaged lumpia. We never sent it in the mail, but we did do local pickups. So we vacuum sealed freshly rolled lumpia. You came pick it up same day, and actually we had a few orders that were big, and we drove it up to Costa Mesa area, and they had a whole like they ordered like 150, and we had it in like little holiday tins for them, like a whole bunch of tins, and it filled up the whole freezer. and they actually came by last year to one of the pop-ups, and they're like, "Oh, we finally finished all the lumpia that we bought from you. It lasted pretty long, and it held up really good. We ran out, so we came to get some more."
Wow,
But
wow.
yeah, definitely in the future we want to do that.
And I know someone asked, my friend Chris just asked, if we would have you at our mall, because I'm a marketing manager for a shopping center. Do you
Okay.
ever plan to be in like shopping centers or have a restaurant? Like, what are your future plans for Leah's Lumpia?
Yeah, so we're definitely looking to expand. We love the product everybody loves, so it's just getting it out there. We have been looking into brick and mortars, but for now, with the food truck, it's very resilient. After
Mhm.
the pandemic, it showed that having a food truck it was definitely more feasible than having a brick and mortar at that
Mhm.
time. You can move around, you can open up wherever, your outdoor seating automatically, everything's to go. You're not paying an overhead for the utilities and the rent and the lease and everything. So, with that being said, we're looking into getting a second food truck, one with a ton more fryers. Like, we only have one fryer on there now, so we want to get one that has like four fryers on there so we can be frying all day. But definitely going to look into another food truck or a food trailer. So, just pull it with a truck or a big car. That definitely is going to be in the works this year. And then we do want to move into a brick and mortar to go shop. Same concept, different fried lumpias, freshly rolled every day. And with that shop, we would start looking into doing the refrigerated to go and the frozen
Wow.
to go.
Yeah. So earlier I asked you about maybe one example of lumpia that didn't go so well. But with that in mind, what is your creative process when you're adding something new to your menu? Like, what do you consider? What do you think of?
So I usually go off of like some of my favorite dishes that I've had. So for example, one of my favorite Filipino dishes is diniguan. So every holiday time, we make the diniguan and rice lumpia.
Mm,
And with me, the creative process is one, just getting the flavors down right. You want it to be very potent and punch you in your face because you are eating it out of a lumpia. It's going to be small. So you want it to, get your bang for your buck with your flavor. So I definitely try to make sure the flavor's on point. And then, of course, when we talked about like the soup,
sinigang.
how yeah, so how watery it is. That really makes a big factor in rolling the lumpia. So like the mac and cheese, it has to cool down obviously and get a little bit congealed. You can't just put it
Mhm,
straight in with like hot mac and cheese. It's gonna tear up those wrappers too fast. So
mhm.
little things like that, wrapping ability with the new dish, the flavor profile, and then the popularity of it. Because like the diniguan, I like a lot. We put it on the menu, and to be honest, only like true Filipinos would order it. Even other Filipinos would be like, "Oh, you have diniguan." I was like, "Oh, you want to try some?" They're like, "Oh, no, I'm good. I'm good off that." So it's just trial and error, I guess.
Yeah.
We are always experimenting every day on different ones. We kind of broke them up into world cuisine categories. So like we have our Filipino menu flavors. We have like what I want to get into is our Italian menu flavors. So trying a lot of we've done Filipino spaghetti inside
Mm,
of the lumpia. So I want to try like fettuccine alfredo inside, regular spaghetti, pesto penne, and gnocchi, stuff like that. Like all different types of pastas and Italian cuisine. We want to get in there. We've done our Hawaiian menu with loco moco, with our musubi lumpia.
mhm.
We've even done like a watermelon. We done Kahlua pork, but then we done a watermelon macaroni salad. So like your traditional mac salad, but we put watermelon and cucumbers in there just to give it like a bright like a summer twist on it,
Yeah.
and people loved it. So we like combining different cuisines together. The way that I like to tell people is like when you're eating a cuisine, you're literally learning the history of someone else's
Mm,
place and country. You're seeing what they locally have, so like what their local produce and fruits are. You see what their local technology is, as in terms of how they cook the food, and then you see their local heritage, like their local culture. So with us, putting two different cultures on one plate is just a way for us to introduce lumpia and Filipino cuisine to different cultures. So like the mac and cheese, you know what mac and cheese tastes like. Most people know what it is. They might not know what a lumpia is, but they know the flavor is going to be in the inside of this fried egg roll thing.
Yeah. Jason, I know Jason's in behind the scene. Next year we're doing this. We gotta be where the chefs are, because I want to taste all these food.
Yeah, you definitely got to be right here trying each one as we're talking
Yeah,
about them.
yeah. I like the shirt. Got lumpia. Yeah. We did have a question
Yeah,
earlier.
yeah.
Yeah, there was a question. Are pop-up events worth it and cost effective? But before you answer that, I do want to add on, like, what do you consider when you are saying yes to a pop-up event, or one of those events that you go to and attend to? So number one, are they cost effective? Are pop-up events cost effective? And number two, what do you look for when you're agreeing to go to some of these pop-up events?
Okay. So the pop-up events for us, it's been a good relationship because we've been partnering with breweries and bars who don't have kitchens. So over the pandemic, it worked out a lot for us because it was a two-way street. They needed us, and we needed a place to pop up. A lot of them, all of them, nobody charges us rent because we're bringing in. So the average wait time of a person coming to order from us is about 10 to 15 minutes, and that's 10 to 15 minutes that they're going to go enjoy inside. And they usually get a beer or two, and then they get their food, and then they get another beer or two. So it extends their stay of just getting one beer to at least 3 or 4 beers. So each place that we've gone to, they've seen an increase in their profits from the nights that we're there. So it's a two-way street. Helps up them out, helps up us out. But there can be a lot of slow days, just as any business. So with us, with the no rent, it really helps a lot. But when it's slow days, or if it's like a brand new pop-up that we've never been to, a new location, we ask for a $500 deposit because just to guarantee that we do get something out of it. And then we usually always sell over $500 at the pop-up, so you get your deposit back once we hit that. But it is a tricky thing because it's hard to find the right locations for us. Of course, we're in North Park here in San Diego, so a lot of people going out, a lot of tourists going out here, college kids going out. So it's a good area for us. And then we're up in Miramar, so we try to get closer to the Filipinos. So like Mira Mesa, we call it Manila Mesa, Claremont, Scripps Ranch, north of the 8. So we're up in the Miramar area, and wherever we go with these Filipinos, we're always going to get a good response.
Yeah, Rob just said pancit canton in a lumpia. Have you tried that?
We have. So we do a pancit bihon and canton, so both the noodles mixed together, and we roll it with some rice. So ever since I was little, I've always eaten my pancit with like a scoop of rice under it for some reason, just carbs on carbs. But it really helps it stick and bind together inside of the lumpia. So when you cut it open, it's not just noodles coming out. But we did that one with a calamansi mayo dipping sauce, and it was really good.
Yeah. Someone said, how about a Tapsilog Tosilog or long silog lumpia?
Yeah, I mean, it's endless possibilities to be
Yeah.
honest. Just recently for Easter, we did our longanisa skewers, so something that wasn't a lumpia, but just on certain holidays or certain weekends, we'll bring out like a Filipino tamales. We did that
Mhm.
for New Year's, and a lot of people have not seen a Filipino tamales. It's made with the rice flour, and then it
Wow.
has chicken. We use banana leaf instead of tamale leaf, but there's chicken in there, pork belly in there, egg, salted egg. So it has a little bit of all the Filipino cuisine in one little bite. And we made it with a pineapple salsa or pineapple salsa verde. So it's kind of like a SoCal version and putting a little bit of spin on it. But that one, things like that make it interesting, and there's always something new every time you come back.
Yeah.
The pop-ups are worth it for us because we are at different locations every week, and those we kind of get a following. So like every Wednesday we're at this brewery, every Thursday we're at another brewery. So we started getting a following from the local brewery, the regulars on those days, but then also people come there just for the food. So it definitely helps out both ways. Like I said, you don't have to pay rent, so it really does make a big difference. But with gas prices nowadays, it has been a little bit of a struggle to pick the
Yeah.
locations because you want it a little bit closer to your kitchen. Us driving up to like Miramar area and back from Chula Vista, it's probably like $30-$40 a day in gas. So it's like we definitely have to gas up every day slowly versus we usually just have our tank filled up. But you have to be resilient and you got to adjust to the times.
Right. And before I answer that we answer that last question. For anyone that's just now tuning in, we are celebrating April as Filipino Food Month here at SoCal Filipinos. And if you're tuning in on Facebook or on YouTube or on Twitch, welcome. And the replay will be available later, actually. So someone just asked right now, actually, sorry, our guest is Chef Spencer, owner of Leah's Lumpia, and who was also featured on, you say the title.
The Food Network's Great Food Truck Race Holiday Hustle. So season 11.
There you go. Do not count unless it's typed in front of me. Do not count on me to memorize. But someone just asked, and we kind of talked about it earlier, right? Do you pass up on the lumpia when you are at a party?
Me, not to be honest.
Are you a lumpia snob?
I usually try it at every place I go. So if we go to a restaurant that has lumpia on the menu, we usually order it just to see how it is and compare it. So we are a little bit of lumpia snob at parties. I'll offer to make the lumpia because it's just so much more worth it when you make it full, big, and people aren't eating 30 pieces each. They're only going to get like 5 to 10,
Yeah, I get it. I mean, you can't be at a party with a subpar lumpia.
Yeah, like we've done some fancy lumpias too. So like we've done a lobster mac and cheese lumpia that was on the show, and we didn't do traditional mac and cheese. We did like smoked Gouda and Gruyere cheese, so white mac and cheese. So it's more of the fancier type. But like when we do that type of stuff, people love it. So it's just depending on the event, depending on what location we're at, we kind of shift our menu around. We definitely did some black tie events for like the Asian Film Festival here in town, and that's where we did the lobster mac and cheese lumpia, and we did a Kahlua pork like mini tostadas. But it definitely, our menu can go from casual street food all the way up to, we have a few weddings booked this year, so we do fancy and nice. A lot of them want the late night snack menu, so after everybody's partying, getting drunk a little bit, something to sober them up before they leave. But yeah, we've done, so like the mac and cheese one, we were in the mac and cheese festival. So everybody had mac and cheese, we had our form of it. We're in most of the Taco Fest in San Diego. So we've done the Taco Fest, the SoCal Taco Fest, and this weekend we're in the Taco and Brew Fest, Broadway Pier. But that's where we invented the carne asada fries lumpia. We've done a pizza festival where we made a supreme pizza lumpia, which is one of my favorite ones.
What?
Probably going to be on the menu soon again.
Supreme pizza in a lumpia. By the way, shout out to Janice.
In a lumpia.
Who was commenting earlier, like amazed at all these different lumpia. But so pizza in a lumpia.
Yeah, so we did it like, it's like a souped up mozzarella stick. So you have mozzarella stick inside. We have pepperoni, sausage, green bell peppers, mushrooms, olives, and red onions, garlic, all inside. We brunoise pretty small, dice it up small, and we roll it all up in there, and you dip it into marinara sauce, and it's like a super amped up mozzarella stick.
You guys, this is torture listening to him describe all this stuff, and I can't eat it. Gourmet lumpia, yes, yes. Okay, so we're almost coming to the end of the hour, but before we get to like where we can find you, and there's another question. Oh, it didn't show. Okay, let me know. I wanted to ask. Almost forgot what I was going to ask you, but I wanted to ask if there's one tip that you can share with people as far as how to make their lumpia. What would it be?
I would recommend always rolling it fresh. The fresher, the better. You can't beat anything about it. We had a lumpia rolling class, a few of them recently, and we've shown our little tips and tricks in there. So one thing with lumpia wrappers, people don't notice, there's a smooth side and a rough side when you're peeling them. So we keep the smooth side down, rough side up. So when you're rolling it, the smooth side's on the outside. So when you roll it over, the smooth side's on the outside. A lot of people use a flour water slurry. I just use straight water. But like I said, if you have to fry them fresh if you're just using straight water. A lot of people use the flour mix when they're gonna put it in the freezer. With us, with all of our flavors, we can't freeze them literally because like the mac and cheese, the chicken adobo, it'll freeze and get ice crystals. And once we throw that into the fryer, they tend to blow up.
Yeah.
So the one that we do that we have packaged up for delivery and for local pickups was just our classic Lola's Lumpia, which is our number one seller. It's 50% beef, 50% pork, mixed vegetables, water chestnuts, Asian marinade, and then sweet chili sauce. So that one definitely, it's similar to your Shanghai Lumpia, but we can't have shrimp on the truck because allergies. It's just not enough room right now.
It's now that I said we're coming up to an hour. Now all the questions are coming up. There are two questions. Let me do the easy one, the shorter one first, which was was it deep Oreo fried lumpia? I think that's what I saw. Yeah, how about a deep fried Oreo lumpia?
Deep fried Oreo lumpia. That does sound good. We've been experimenting with desserts. We've done fried cheesecake. We've done different types of cakes fried. We have an apple pie one that's actually really popular. Apple pie, banana pudding that we've done. The deep fried Oreo, I probably would make it like a deep fried Oreo cheesecake. So it's, it has something to bind with. It's not just dry Oreos in the inside. But definitely some of my favorite ones to play around with are the dessert ones because I do have a sweet tooth. So I love doing the research and development for it. But definitely look for more dessert lumpias on our menu soon.
So do you make any turon? Is that considered a lumpia? A brother?
Yeah, so turon's always on our menu. Everybody always asks about it. The banana one, So we do
do you put jackfruit?
Saba banana. We do a Saba banana with sweet jackfruit in the inside. Then we toss it after it's fried and a cinnamon sugar, so like a churro. So it's kind of like an ode to SoCal. And then we drizzle it with a ubi drizzle, so you get a little taste of ubi on the outside.
And then we have
that one is actually really popular.
That's probably one of the first things I'd order. What is the biggest marketing issue you had to overcome in the beginning of your career, and maybe right now too?
Yeah, so right now we haven't spent any money on marketing. So with the festivals, we started off the company with Crossfest downtown, a big music festival like techno and house music. But it's 30,000 people, and that was our first event as a company. So whether or not people bought food from us or not, 30,000 people saw our name, saw our company, saw what we did, came over, asked what lumpia was. Like more than half the time, we were explaining what lumpia is to every single person. But all the festivals that we do and all the pop-ups and collaborations that we do with other companies definitely gets us a lot of exposure. The way I like to explain it is like we're a locals only type vibe. So we love people coming via word of mouth. So locals telling locals. We're not really trying to target the tourist market. We're not trying to like pop up downtown near the airport, near the hotels and stuff like that. We're kind of a locals type vibe. So if you're from San Diego, people around town will know about the Lumpia truck. We are the only Lumpia truck in San Diego. In Southern California, to be honest, I haven't seen or heard of any other ones. So it's pretty recognizable. We're a big yellow truck. This is a picture of it right here. Big yellow truck with green monstera leaves on it. So you can't really miss us around town. But yeah, for marketing, I really use social media. I take advantage of social media platforms. So posting on Instagram, Facebook, keeping the website up to date, doing weekly schedules so people see us every week. And just I'm trying to do reels now. I
love it.
I never knew how long they take to edit. They take forever to edit because unless you have a vision going into it, and after you just have videos and pictures everywhere, and you're just like, how do I put it all together?
I'm gonna give you a tip because I love doing reels, and for anyone listening to, if you don't have a vision and you don't have any plans, like it's always just I feel like my life is just like full of B-rolls. So whatever I'm doing, I'll just take like video B-rolls because later on you can always use it for whatever music is trending. You can always like look through and do small clips. Don't do like long clips on your phone. Like
long one, a whole just small ones.
do 3 seconds of a
Okay.
B-roll of you rolling a lumpia, whatever, and you can always use it later. So then when you don't have to stress yourself out, with a vision, I need a vision or whatever. So make
Yeah.
sure, yeah, just shoot little videos, whatever you're doing. Let's see. I was so excited when I saw you behind me on the freeway, and I wish I could get some lumpia.
Should have just followed us.
Yeah, there you go. Follow them on Instagram. It's Leah's Lumpia. I just pulled it up.
Hmm.
And so
There you
there
go.
you go. And tell us, so where, I know you're in San Diego. Many of the listeners might be in the LA area, and I know you mentioned earlier
Hmm.
before we started you might be in the LA area. So tell us some dates and some locations so we can put it on the calendar.
Yeah, so festival season starting up. So down here in San Diego, we're in the festival this Saturday, the Taco and Beer Festival. Then we have two next month here in San Diego. It's the SoCal Taco Festival, so a very big one at Waterfront Park. And then we're in the San Diego Wings Festival. So hopefully our Calamansi Pepper Wings win number one wings in San Diego. But for LA area, we're going to be going up north in June. We're going to be at the Spicy Green Book Festival. So it's like a small black-owned business, small business festival in Long Beach area. Huntington Beach or Long Beach? Oh, I think it's Long Beach. It's the Queen Mary's Landing,
Yes,
or
Long Beach. I
you
live
know,
in Long Beach. Wait, what was the date?
yeah.
What was the date?
June. It's like June 15th, the middle of June. I'm gonna have to double check on the exact date. I have to go on my calendar on my phone. But
That's a Wednesday. It's on a weekday,
oh no, it's probably on the weekend. Yeah.
June 18th.
So probably like the 19th, 18th, or 19th. Yeah. I will let you know for sure. We will be in Huntington Beach for that. And then once we get our food trailer up and going, we're going to start moving because we can go further distances. So we're definitely looking to do pop-ups in Las Vegas. So
Uh-huh.
hopefully 4th of July weekend, we're going to be out in Vegas and have a couple of locations out there set up. And then we're going across the border to Mexico. We're going to go to TJ. We're doing a collaboration with Los Smash Bros. So it's like a smash burger place in TJ. And we're going to be doing collaboration and doing our cheeseburger and fries lumpia, our fried pickles, and our Filipino smash burger.
Mm, Filipino smash burger.
Yeah.
Amazing. Someone just what we call a pahabol. Last minute question was what do you
Mhm.
think about air frying a lumpia?
So I definitely do not recommend it for raw. We always tell our customers after they get our fried lumpia, when they take it home, never put it in the microwave. It's a sin to put it in the microwave. So put it in the convection oven or oven if you have an air fryer. Air fryers are the best to reheat. It comes out just as new
So air fryer is the best thing to use to reheat lumpia.
to reheat. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
What
never
if you
to
don't
cook
have an air?
fully. Yeah.
Yeah. What if you don't have an air fryer, like back in the oven? Or I mean, toaster?
Yeah, I didn't have an air fryer before, so I just used a convection oven or a toaster oven. Yeah, it
Yeah.
works. Convection's the best because the air is moving. You don't want it to get stagnant. But yeah, toaster ovens work perfect.
Yeah, and someone did ask, and I'm not sure if you can share, but what's the average cost of being a part of food festivals?
So it depends. It's mainly on the size and the organization that's putting it together. So like CrossFest was initial like booth fees and electricity fees. It went up to like $1,800.
Hmm.
But then with those big ones, they also take percentage of your profit.
Yeah,
So they will do like they were pretty crazy. They did like 58 or 53% of all your sales. So half of your sales you're giving away basically. But again, they have 30,000 people in one area at one time that can't leave. They're locked in. So when else will you have that type of audience with the potential of buying your food? But definitely some of the local. So instead of doing the big ones like that, we look into more of the local based ones, and those are more like 3 to 5,000 people attendance, and that could be up to the cheapest ones can be like $250 to enter. Some of them can go up to like 850 to be in it. So it depends on what organization you're working for. I would definitely recommend looking for those festivals that aren't looking for percentages, because if you make more money, they're making more money. So it's like I like the flat fee ones because you could follow your money track and look at all your numbers way better.
Yeah, awesome. Well, we're up to the hour now. It was lovely speaking with you, Chef Spencer. I do want to close out with this comment right here because it's amazing. So thank you so much for being here with us at SoCal Filipinos. Once again, if you're tuning in and you did not catch the beginning, you have to catch my joke. No, you have to watch it. Tune in on Facebook, on SoCal Filipinos, YouTube. The replays will be there. But I do want to close out on this comment right here. I cannot see the name on here on the screen. So Jason, let me know if you see the name. But it says definitely the most delicious lumpia. Love the wings too. We have our faves we always get, and the list gets longer every time. Everyone should go check them out. You won't feel disappointed. It's so good, and I got my neighbor hooked as well as others. That's like a
I
great
know who that
review.
is.
You know who is it?
I know who that is. Yeah,
Who is it?
that's one of our. It's Shirley Miranda, one of our biggest customers, one of our favorite
Ah,
customers. She saw us off the show, and her daughter fell in love with us, and they didn't know we're from San Diego. Once they found out we're in San Diego, they come at least like once every couple of weeks. So come by with a nice order, and they order for the next door neighbor. So that's how I know it's them.
I love it. And this is why I love like small businesses because you get to know your customers. Like
You
there's no
do.
name here on the screen, but he knew exactly who it was. So thank you so much,
Yeah,
you
their
guys.
daughter actually, their daughter, side note, she did one of her school projects on the food truck about the food truck race, and it was one of, I think it was like her favorite food, lumpia, and
Awesome.
she's not
Awesome.
Filipina.
Oh, that's awesome. Even better. So thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you so
yeah.
much for your time, Chef Spencer. You guys follow follow Leah's Lumpia, and then Chef Spencer also has his own Instagram. So make sure you follow those.
Hmm.
Make sure you know you're in the know where they are because I want to try all of these lumpia for sure.
Yeah,
Wait,
yeah. Give us a
before
follow. You'll see our weekly schedule, our monthly schedules on the website. So that's where you'll see the festivals that we'll be in throughout the different months. So yeah, give us a follow, and you'll see where we'll be at.
I have a question. Sorry, one more question,
Hmm.
Jason. I know we're
Yeah,
past.
no worries, no worries.
But how do we like? Okay, so you can order all these lumpia. But do you have like a what do you call that appetizer when you get to taste all of them? They are like a taster.
Oh, a
Do you offer
sampler?
a sampler? Do you offer that?
We don't currently because it can get pretty crazy with the sauces and all the different toppings and stuff. But we do offer half and half. So if you want to split your
Mhm.
order into two flavors, you can try half one flavor, half another. A lot of people do that. And like I said, the orders are really big. So half a order is big enough to get a little taste.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, because I want to taste everything, but I don't know that I have room for
Yeah,
everything.
definitely people walk up and they're like, I'll have one of everything on the menu. And I'm like, that's times 8 pieces. So, but yeah, definitely half and half. Try out the
Yes.
half and half
Okay.
combos.
Thank you so much, Chef Spencer. And thank you
Thank
guys for
you.
tuning in. Make sure you guys, once this is posted, please share it because we need to share more of our Filipino food. And if you're not Filipino and you love Filipino food, welcome. We love you too. Thank you so much. Thank you, Chef Spencer.
Thank
Once
you.
again, this is SoCal Filipinos, guys. Bye.
Have a good one.